Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our Eastleigh save, and today we're taking on Portsmouth, a little bit of a South Coast derby for you, and there's some big news to go into. But before we do, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for all the good content that's coming up, both Wonder Kids experiments, which will be coming in the new year, and of course more Eastleigh. So with that said, Portsmouth today, who are sitting in 23rd, so they're second bottom in relegation zone. We're sitting in 19th, but we have improved our form quite a bit, and that is due to a change in tactic to some extent. So, like I say, we're 19th, so nothing too drastic, and I say a change in tactics helped us. I mean, we won 2 games on the bounce following the game we drew against Bristol City, which you saw. A 3-2 win against Huddersfield and a 2-0 win against Peterborough. So 2 quite good results. We then lost 5-2 in the Carabao Cup to Sheffield United, who are a Premier League team. Again, using this modified formation, which is great. A 2-0 loss to Cardiff. We bounced back from Blackburn. We beat 2-1. And then a 2-2 draw against Bournemouth, who are obviously very, very good in the Championship. A 1-0 loss to Hull was a bit of a shame, to be honest. I think we could have got a bit more out of that. And a draw against Ipswich, which again, we went ahead and we only drew because of a penalty. And then West Brom, who have Pirlo in the side as manager, who I believe are fighting for playoffs and that sort of thing. We lost 4-2 in the end. But we put up a good fight in that one. So I'm not too worried about that. But like I say, we've got Portsmouth today, a bit of a South Coast derby. As you can see, obviously, they are around the bottom. Let's take a look at this tactic then, which we've kind of been using. So we've gone to a 4-2-3-1, which I mentioned that we were training. And it seems to have worked. The only issue we've got is we haven't really got any wingers. The only wingers we've got is Simmons and Owakwe. Adebayeju also can play out wide, but again, he's not a natural winger, and to be honest, Simmons isn't really, or Owakwe either. So it's a bit limiting, but it's working. So I'm hoping in January we can maybe bring in some loans or something like that to kind of fill out those wide roles, and we'll at the end of the season we'll likely move on a bunch of these centre midfielders because we've got way too many of them. O'Connor wants to start a few more games, which I'm a little reluctant to because Magoma and Amol have been fantastic, but this is the game to do it in. Amol and O'Connor got a good connection. Ramsey at right back, Rowe at left back, Dreyer and Smith in the centre midfield. That partnership's been very, very good so far. Ben Elliott, again, he's not an attacking midfielder, naturally, but he is developing there, and I think he's good enough to be able to do so. I think he's got the kind of agility, he's got the on the ball situation with technique and vision, which you want in there, and he's pretty quick as well, which is always nice. Carl Hudlin will be playing up top. Hasn't been playing a lot recently, but he's still our second top goal scorer in the league. Just shows how influential he is. And Ben House has been very, very good. He's been playing out wide a few more times for us, just because he's kind of a bit more versatile, so he can play out there, and he's been pretty good as an inverted winger, coming inside as well as out wide as well. Hackford scored a couple of goals for us as well, so he started to get into the swing of things, playing up top, often coming off the bench mainly, as using that pace when needed. But otherwise, it's okay. Well, I'm not too concerned. I think we should really be able to hold our own in this league at the moment with this this kind of tactic and this squad. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll stick into the league. And if we can, it means that, well, it's great, isn't it? It would be a great outcome for us to stay in the Championship this season. And you never know, maybe next season we can look to get in the top 10 or something like that. But we'll have to just wait and see. But we've got a free kick early on. Ben Elliott to the back post. Hudlin heading over the bar. Again, missing the goal, heading over the top, which seems to be kind of a very common thing with Carl Hudlin. But he still manages to get the goal, so we can't complain too much. But he's missed one there. And we're only 6 minutes in, so a long game to go. But their goal kick has come to Rowe down this left-hand side, who, again, he's played a little further forward as well at times in that inverted winger role. Just wide of the post by Hudlin, with Harper coming in at left-back. So they've kind of got that versatility where he can go a bit further forward, even though he's not a natural in that position. he does do a good job in there. And like I say, we need the wingers really to be able to make this tactic fully work. But with how it's performing at the moment, without those wingers, I think we're doing pretty well. It's a vertical tiki-taka because I thought we have got a few players in here that can play the ball. I think we had to change things up. It wasn't working with the kind of target wing approach. The ball still gets played out wide. That's why we've got inverted wingers rather than inside forwards, as it means that they will still stay wide and get those crosses in, but it also means they are happy to cut inside as well. So that's why that is what it is. We've got the presence of Hudlin up top at points, so no worries with kind of winning balls in the air. It's just, well, him making them go on target. But we played it around quite nicely there after receiving it. Matt Smith playing it out to Rowe, then into Kendra Simmons, who again, he's performed pretty well as well since we've moved into this formation, scoring a couple of goals. Rowe, though, on the overlap, looks back to Smith, who plays it inside to Elliott in that whole role. He looks over the top to Ben House, whose header is, well, it was pretty decent. Off the bar in the end, so not quite as good as we needed, but not a bad start. I mean, we're 12 minutes in and we have had a non-stop highlights. Am I mad? No, it is key highlights still. We're just very much getting a lot of chances very early on. A good win by Hudlin. Ben Elliott not able to quite get onto that as it's won back by Portsmouth. Obviously, I'm going to take a lot of joy out of beating Portsmouth if we can, both as a Saints fan and Eastleigh fan. Obviously, South Coast derby there as well. So it's nice to see them at lower end of the table. So that'll piss some people off, I'm sure. But they've had a shot target and we haven't, so can't really say too much. And I can't believe we're only 20 minutes into the game and the amount of highlights we've had so far. Toby Mole plays it into Elliott, back to O'Connor, who came into the side today, like I say, because he's missed out on a lot of games recently because of the form of Magoma and Amol, but he didn't shine him. He said he would show me what I'm missing that I'm not missing. Please don't do that again, Stefan. That is not what we need. And that's not a great pass by Amol, but Aro does get it back and we're able to kind of recycle things and go again from Amol. Into Smith, back to O'Connor. Hopefully you don't delay on the ball as much this time. He doesn't. He's learned from his mistake there. Luke Dreher's ball forward is headed clear by Smith, but again, R. Smith gets on the ball. A ball over the top to Hudlin, who, I mean, what a lovely finish that is. Matthew Smith with the ball over the top for Carl Hudlin to run onto. The big man up front with kind of the deftest of touches, just the first time pop it home. I mean, we have to see this again. Dreher's ball forward is headed away by Smith for Portsmouth at right back, but Matthew Smith's ball over the top to Hudlin, who it's kind of like a dink over the keeper, like a half-volleyed little loft. It wasn't powerful or anything like that, but a lovely little finish, and he's got another goal for himself in another league. Portsmouth still sat in 23rd. We've jumped up to 14th, which is great. It means that we're closer and closer to kind of having that stabilisation in the middle of the table. Like I say, January, it will be a case we'll need to bring in some players for wing roles. You'll probably see at the end of January period coming up. But Ben Elliott's free kick is wide of the post, not really going to trouble the keeper in the end as we start to really dominate the game now as we go into the half an hour mark. But like I say, yeah, wide players is what we're going to have to look at. I know we're a few seasons in, but if you've got any suggestions as to players that I should keep an eye out for the championship teams who have very low budget, let me know, because we haven't got any money. We're having a bit of an issue. I mean, we are selling Harry Lewis, and I might be able to bring in a couple of loan players, hopefully from Chelsea, who might be a bit more happier to loan them to us. But because our reputation is so low, they don't want to loan us anyone who's actually any good, which is the slight issue with it. But we're in half-time. We're 1-0 up. It's a good start, and hopefully things continue. So what we will do, in fact, Kendra hasn't been playing great. We'll take Vincent Harper on, put Callum Rose slightly further forward, and Harper will drop in at wing-back. Like I mentioned before, that is something that we have done in the past, in the last few games anyway. So I've got no real concerns with that happening. He's playing well as well, Rowe, so hopefully he can influence going forward a little bit more. Ben House struggling a little bit on that right-hand side, as you'd probably expect as a natural striker. But it looks like Hudlin has... he used to get really, really tired really quickly in the other formations. But I think in this one, he maybe gets he gets kind of a bit of a rest up top. As the lone man, he doesn't chase things as much, looking for more the balls over the top and stuff, and hopefully he can get the ball down as well. So it's quite nice to see that he doesn't get as tired so quickly, and his fitness isn't affected as much. It's just a 22nd minute goal by Hudlin that's separating the two sides at the moment. Half an hour to go, but it is Portsmouth who's going to come forward now. Rossiter into Smith after he took the initial throw in, looking to get down the left-hand side and get a ball into the box for sure. Plays it back to Pritchard, who's being closed down out wide, but the ball does come into Afolayan at the back post, and it looks like it might have been headed wide rather than a corner. Enough was done by Kane Ramsey at the right back to deal with that, but still a little bit sketchy. 20 minutes to go now. Let's see if we can bring anyone on to kind of not shake things up necessarily, but to just give the boys a bit of a relaxation. We'll pop Iwakwe on the right-hand side for Ben House, who's had an all right game. He's done okay out there, but Tariq should be able to come on and do a bit more and hopefully influence the game enough to maybe even get us another goal, which would be nice. 10 minutes coming up now. As we're closing out the game, it's nice to see. We'll bring on Antoine Hackford, I think, for Carl Hudlin up top, just to kind of run a bit more, chase things down a little bit more, all that sort of thing. As we go into the last few moments, if we can hold on, that would be great. It means we end up in 14th position. They're still obviously in the relegation zone, and we've been on a mighty 22 points from 19 games, which doesn't seem too great, but I mean, for the side we've got, I'm very, very happy with how that's going so far. Moles played brilliantly. O'Connor, after an initial little mistake from him, has kind of upped his game a little bit more. We've had plenty of chances to get more goals. Again, that is something that we really do need to work on. But, it happens. It's absolutely fine. But a win's a win. It's a great win to have as well against a rival, someone who's near the bottom of the table as well. So it pushes us slightly further away from that. We're a good 8 points clear from 22nd now in Ipswich. So we've got a bit of leeway now. We have got the FA Cup to come as well, obviously in January, with us entering in the first round proper, which is nice to see. But yeah. There you go. I think we've had a very, very productive episode. It's been very good. You've seen a few things. Ben House, obviously top goal scorer at the moment. Toby Amole's been very, very good. And we've got the likes of Oxford coming up next, which could be a bit of a challenge. I'll take a look at what transfers we can bring in, as I mentioned before. But a few teams that are going to be very, very tough, that's for sure, like Middlesbrough and Burnley. But there you go. I hope you enjoy. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and check out the channel to get more lovely, lovely episodes like this. And I will catch you in the next one.